What's going on, fish heads? Just thought I'd give you a quick update on my Fluval Flex 15-gallon Nano tank build. And pardon the glare, it's about lunchtime my time, so the sun is shining, which is always a good thing. We'll just have to accept that the sun is shining. So if there is some glare, I do apologize. And yeah, my tank does get a little bit of sunlight coming in, but it's actually good because it's hitting the gloss and that's where I need it. But things have been going pretty good with this tank. I have learned a little bit on nano tank philosophy. You can see here, I'm just doing my water change. That's a 1 gallon container, and can I show you here? Can we get in there? And I simply see if we can. My camera has like zero focus apparently. There we go. And I just drip the water in. So within that 1 gallon container, what I do is I just suck the water into the same container using some airline tubing. And then I add in all of my fertilizers and my other, like, your typical aquarium products in there. Luckily, I don't need any dechlorinator as I already have that built into my house. So that actually works out pretty good. But all in all, let me tell you a few things that I've learned about having this tank and what I kind of like and I dislike. Still disliking the whole filter system with those large holes, and I'm actually disliking the way that I modified it. I would have done that a little bit differently. I think I would have used a mesh versus the foam, even though the foam was the simplest way to go. Other than that though, we did have, I don't know if I can show you here, we did have like that white slime kind of bacterial outbreak that is almost done. That looks like about the last, I don't know if you can see that there, but that's about the last piece of it, and there's just a few shreds of it by the my little Anubis petite. But plants are doing well. You can actually see that there's some new growth on the Anubis, which is always a good sign, considering that it's really just sitting there on the rock, and I like it. And I have the same idea about putting it in that spot as well. I think I might grab another one next time I'm at my local fish store. But everything has been growing really well, and the rocks have cleared up. I used feller stone, and the feller stone, as you can see, is kind of a semi-porous stone, I'm imagining. And it had all this really cool moss on it, which captured my eye, and I should have realized that we're gonna have issues. And this is where that bacterial bloom came. Some of the moss was like a more of a puffy kind, and I guess under submerged in the water it wasn't completely solid, and then you started to get like that white hairy, wispy kind of bacterial growth on it. But yeah, it's pretty much gone now, and I'm quite pleased about that. My other disappointing thing is shrimp. Probably more so where I bought them. They just didn't seem to do that well. I know that there's a few in here. We're not going to be able to see them because I never see them until I say I don't have any, and then they show. But I think I'm down from 10. I think I'm down to 3. I'm going to guess 3. 1 cherry red left and 2 blue velvets left. That is a guess. I can actually see a carcass of one right in there. That could either be a carcass, or it could be one had shedded, but I'm pretty sure it's a carcass. And I'll fish that out a little later. I noticed it as I was doing my water change. And yeah, it looks like, and I noticed that I have this large area here underneath the plant, and I was going to actually fill that in, but I think the shrimp have actually kind of built a cave in there, and I'm just kind of suspicious that maybe that's where they're hanging out. Other than that, the white cloud minnows have been doing great. They really do love this tank, and they're really showing their colors, and it looks like they're going through some of their little breeding rituals and all of that good stuff. So hopefully those continue. We continue to have good news. Another thing that I'm not crazy about with the Fluval is actually the whole lighting system. Initially, it was kind of exciting to have a tank with all the built-in lighting, and it was a clean design, but it's like your typical offshore cheap lighting. And it has literally no intelligence to it, so it's kind of a drag. What I actually use is, I use 2 buttons. That button there and that button there. And in the evenings, I switch to like an orange light to, at least to my eye, to mimic sunrise and sunset. And then I use the white. I don't use any of the special effects. I just really think that most of this is unnecessary. I think it would have been nicer to have two settings and maybe like a built-in timer for your lights. I think would have been a much better solution. I also have noticed too that the tank, I don't know if you can see it here, but the tank actually has a couple of blemishes that I did try to clean off, and I think it's like the black silicone, or whatever they use, it's a little bit of pieces of that. So I would say that if you were going to get a tank such as this, another Fluval Flex, make sure that you wash it and maybe even take a razor blade to it. Obviously watching the silicone joints, but on the flat portions of glass to make sure that you have none of that residue. It is kind of hard. I don't know, maybe we can catch it this way and we can see it, but there's a piece up there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I mean the fit and the fit and finish of this tank is good. I really do like the Fluval Flex. I like the design. I liked having the curve the way that it is versus your typical bow front tank. It really does make a more pleasurable viewing experience, especially when you're just sitting in front of the tank and just letting life drift away while you're waiting for your water change to drip into the aquarium. And yeah, anyways, that's about it for me, guys. Just wanted to give a quick update on the tank. And if you do have any questions or any suggestions for nano tanks, be sure to let me know. And oh, I guess the last thing I'll touch on is the Fluval Stratus, the substrate that I'm using. Love it. I had zero issues with clouding, and I actually missed a few spots when I did my aquascaping. There's a spot in there that I can actually see the reflection of the bottom of the tank. I'm actually going to show, once I get that next Anubis and plant it there, I'm going to show you guys my little tip for how to put substrate into a tank that's full without just taking handfuls of it and dumping it in there. So we'll do that in probably the next couple of weeks. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked the tank, and we're going to definitely see some more of it. If you got any plant suggestions for me, be sure to put that in the comments down below. I'm always interested in new nano plants. And a huge shout out to Rachel O'Leary, the DIY King, and Pack Tech. Thanks so much, guys, for all your tips and tricks and suggestions and fish. And you know what? Just keep doing what you're doing. You've totally inspired me, and you definitely definitely made me want to move forward in this amazing hobby that I've already been in for 20 years, and I feel like I'm a brand new hobbyist now in this amazing pastime. So yeah, we can see some nice strips there, right? And that's how I do it, guys. I just feed the water in slowly. And as you can tell, my videos are going to be done one take. I like to babble and just talk about what's interesting to me. So if you do have any questions, make sure you throw them in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe and click that notification button if you want to see future videos from me. At any rate, my name is Jampy00, and I'll see you guys all real soon. Until then, I'll catch you later.